Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be playing another round of my TBR game, Scrabble Picks My TBR, and this will be our very first TBR for 2022. If this is your first time watching Scrabble TBR, welcome, hello. Glad to have you here. Basically, this works like a game of Scrabble. Every single month I spell 5 words. Those 5 words act as my prompts, so I have to read one book based off of each word. I get 1 star tile that I can use to swap out my letters at one point throughout the game with no consequences. Once I successfully complete a prompt, I collect the points for that word. When I get 150 points, then I get to have a free pick on that month's TBR. I will be introducing some new twists to this game the next time I hit 150 points, so stay tuned to see that when it comes. Now, how did I do on the December TBR? First, I'm filming this video a little early because my stepsister is coming to stay with us over New Year's, so I'll be very busy, won't have time to film. Therefore, it's not the end of December yet. However, I have a feeling I'm not going to complete all the books in my December TBR. Yeah, the past 2 months I haven't been reading as much as usual. Granted, I read over 70 books in 2021, so maybe I just needed a little bit of a break. I'm going to do my best. There's still time left before the end of the month, but I don't think I'm going to read everything I said I was going to. While this is my January TBR, I'm not planning to do a TBR for February just to give myself a month off. February is my birthday month, so I'm gonna let myself just read whatever I want. However, to be a little kinder to myself, I am going to give myself permission that if I finish the books on my TBR before March, I'm still gonna count it. So even though this is the January TBR, it's kind of a January-February TBR, and since I'm only picking 5 books for 2 months, I think I'll still be able to mood read in February, hopefully. And now let's talk about the books that I have to read in January, because there's quite a few. First, Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery is hosting a readathon of Vanity Fair by William Thackeray. We're going to be reading this in the month of January and February. This is quite a big classic book, so I have 2 months to read this. Would really help to get it on the TBR. And yes, I'm not done yet. There is another book that I have to put on the TBR, or I'm going to attempt to put on the TBR, which is my in real life book club pick. I am in a book club at work and we take turns picking the book for us to read that month. This month's book club pick is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. I've had this on my TBR for, I want to say at least 3 years, because this is a really hyped series on BookTube. It takes place in a futuristic society where basically they've eradicated death. People don't die of natural causes anymore, but because of that, they need to keep the population under control, right? So people can train to become what is called a scythe, which is basically like a Grim Reaper-esque figure, is my understanding. This is a book that I've heard so many good things about that I've said that I was going to read, and then I've just never felt motivated to pick it up. But now I guess I have to, because it's the Office book club pick. I don't know if I really want to read this right now. I don't know if I want to start a series, but it's for book club, so we're gonna give it a try. I hope I like it. So as you can see, I'm gonna be a very busy girl in January and February. It would definitely help me out if I could get those books on the TBR. We'll see how it goes. Let's just get started with the picks. Okay, so these are the letters that we had left over last month. We have 1 star tile that I can use to switch out my letters at any one point throughout the game with no consequences. So let's see if the letters are kind to me this month, because I have several books that I have to read, and hopefully I'll be able to fit a few of those on. W. Okay. almost dropped it. N. Okay, so I am going to spell own. I know that's a short one, but that gives me a lot of freedom in deciding what I want to put on the TBR. Basically, any book that I own, fair game. So first, for the prompt, own. This is a very vague prompt, can be any book I own, and of course, I'm gonna say Vanity Fair. This is the biggest book I need to read in the next 2 months. Definitely something I want to get on the TBR because I have to read this. And it's what? How many pages? Let's see. Not including the notes in the back, it is 809 pages. And I think if I just commit and if I can be disciplined, I can read this for sure. And also, I have 2 months to do it. So just read a little bit every week, a little bit every day, and we should be good to go. This is the first book on the TBR. Oh, God help me. R. Okay. A. P. Okay. So I'm gonna spell crown, and for this, I'm going to read a book featuring royalty. Fun. Hello, everyone. So, Jackie from the future cutting in here because I've decided I actually want to pick a different book for this prompt, which I think I reserve the right to do, okay? Because I didn't post this video yet. I think I'm entitled to change my mind. I forgot that I ordered the Excalibur Curse by Kirsten White, which came out earlier in December, and I think it would be really good for me to read this because this is the final book in the Camelot Rising trilogy, so can finish that trilogy and have one less series that I have to read. This whole series is inspired by Arthurian legend and follows Guinevere as the main character. I enjoyed the first book, felt like the second book had a little bit of middle book syndrome, and so I'm going to finish out the series. Looking at Goodreads, it seems like a lot of people were disappointed by the conclusion, so we'll see how this final book goes. I'm also interested because I want to see who Guinevere is going to end up with, if she ends up with anyone at all, because there are 3 different characters that I could see being a endgame love interest for her, and I'm invested in all 3 potential relationships to varying degrees. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, so we'll see how it goes. M. Oh, okay. Okay, I could spell rules. I don't know what that would mean. I could spell capes. Again, I don't know what that would mean. Real, like a nonfiction. I just put a nonfiction on the TBR last month, though. I mean, I'm not opposed to reading nonfiction this month, but a lot of the ones I want to read are chunky. So, I'm tentatively... This one also has 2 double letter scores, which is good. I'm gonna say poem? I don't read a lot of poetry, but poems are quick to read, right? I could probably get through that this month, right? I don't know. We're gonna give this a try. And it has 2 double letter scores, so that's good. So next up, I spelled poem. To be honest, I'm not a huge poetry person. I definitely prefer narrative poetry. That's just a little more interesting to me. But I do have this copy of Shakespeare's sonnets that I've been meaning to read for a while. I bought this at Shakespeare's house in Stratford-upon-Avon, and I just thought it was such a cute addition with the flowers and the birds and the strawberries. Even though I'm not a big poetry person, I do love Shakespeare, so I think it's kind of a failing on my part that I haven't read all of his sonnets. This also includes A Lover's Complaint. To be honest, I'm not sure what that is. So now is the time. If I just read a couple sonnets every day, every night before I went to bed, it would be super easy to get through. And hey, new year, so I'm finally gonna tick off these books that I've been meaning to read but never made the time for. I think this will be a nice balance compared to some of the other books that I have to read, so we'll give it a try. I really don't think I'm gonna absolutely love this, but we'll see. And I think, you know, there'll probably be some ones in here that are really good. A D. Why am I dropping these today? B and G. Oh, okay, this is great. I'm gonna get one of the books I have to read on the official TBR by spelling club. So for this one, I'll read the book for my office book club. Oh, yes. So far, so good. And great news, the next prompt is Club, my book club book, so you already know what it is. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I don't know, like I said, I've been meaning to read this book for a long time, so it's kind of good that I'm finally being forced to read it, but I don't know. It's not exactly what I'm in the mood for right now, but I'll give it a try. It's the book club pick. I want to participate in book club, so we'll see how it goes. If you've read this book, let me know in the comment section if you think that I'm going to like it. T. Okay. I. Yes, I. And O. Okay. What I think I'm going to spell, again, gets me 2 double letter scores, is song. So I did a prompt like this before, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my Spotify on shuffle and then find a book that reminds me of whatever the first song that comes up is. Last time I did a prompt like this, I ended up getting a song that was easy to find a book for. Hopefully I'll luck out again, because if I get a love song, that'll be a little trickier because I don't read romance. But either way, should be a fun one. And finally, song. So I put my Spotify on shuffle, and the song that came up was actually a really fun one. It was I Did Something Bad by Taylor Swift, and I definitely think this is a song that I can work with. Okay, here's my thinking for this prompt. If you've listened to this song, it says, you know, I did something bad, but it felt so good. She talks about, you know, men who take advantage of you, aren't worth you know what. And I believe that Taylor Swift has mentioned in the past that part of her inspiration for this song, in addition to her lived experiences, obviously, is the scene in Game of Thrones season 7, spoiler alert, where Sansa and Arya outsmart and kill Littlefinger. So you could say this song is partially inspired by murdering men. Follow my logic here. So the book that I'm going to pick that's like this song is going to be They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. I've heard a lot about this book on BookTube. I've heard some very positive reviews, some that were a little more mixed. Basically, this is a thriller that's about rape culture on college campuses, and we're following two main POV characters. First, we have Scarlett, who is a professor, and Scarlett's sick of seeing all these men being able to sexually assault women on campus and get away with it, so she kills them. She murders rapists, and so she's trying to keep her secret life as a murdering avenger a secret from the other professors on campus. And then the other POV character is a student named Carly, and another girl that Carly knows is sexually assaulted, and so Carly starts thinking about revenge. That's all I really know, but hey, killing bad men, there's parallel here, right? I'm gonna go with it. So for next month, we will be carrying over A, D, T, and I. I didn't even have to use the star tile this month, so the letters were fairly kind. Now comes the hard part, which is having to read all these books. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Scrabble TBR. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every single Wednesday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you, and I hope you have a divine rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.